What's up? What do we got here? Big old Artisan Cutlery box. And a bunch of numbers that never make any sense to me. 1816G-GNS. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I'm sure the knife has a name. It's never on the outside of these boxes. All right. Well, I have a few of these sitting around that I have picked up over the months and just have not gotten to them. And they usually have, a black card in here that doesn't tell me the name of the knife, but it does throw specs at us. It's a 1816G. It's an S35VN, titanium, ceramic bearings. It's heat treated to 58 to 60, and it's a frame lock. But it doesn't really tell us what. Yeah, so always come with these nice cases. This kind of looks familiar. There's cleaning cloth in there. Yeah, it sort of looks familiar. I think this is an upgraded version of a piece we did another video on that's in G10. I think so. I think I'm going to recognize this blade when it comes out of here. I'm going to put this over here because I'm running out of room here. I'm kind of packed in. All right. Yeah, it's got nice carbon fiber inserts, reversible pocket clip with it. It's got the little insert that fills the hole, little hole filler on the other side. It's got the branding on the pivot, on the blade. I like how they do it in the pivot. I mean, it's pretty distinguished. But then they say it on the backspacer, titanium backspacer, titanium pocket clip. Feels like really good tension there. I'm not going to check it. We'll check it when we get going. But it feels wonderful. And then looks like a really nice satin on this blade. Let's go. Yeah, it's that blade. Mm-hmm. And I think I know the name of this, but I'm gonna look it up. It's in S35VN frame lock. Let's check this action. What a intense piece of machine here, right? Just intense, man. And look how they polished this. This is all polished right up to the edge. Beautiful hand finish, but it's satin polish. This is this way. And then this is hand finished the other way. And then it's got another angle here, swedge angle. Look at this mean tip, man. Yeah, pretty solid cerambic grip. I think it's called the claw. I think it is. I'm going to look it up here. And then we'll get going on this thing. A 1816G. Yeah. I was close. It's actually the Artisan Cutlery Eagle. Yeah, it's the Eagle. Okay. Flipper tab's the only way in. Yeah, I can get here. Mm-hmm. All right, well, let's get up in this thing. Let's get a full check-in in it. Everything's nice and solid. All right. In we go. We're going in. Let me look at this. It's about 50% there. Just outside of the inside. Okay. Just get my bearings there, seeing where we're lined up. Don't know if you've noticed yet, but I think it's coming out the other side. No, it ain't neither. I think it's just spinning. This one's coming out. There we go. Whew, lots of Loctite on that little screw. Yep. Looks like maybe this one. Ooh, there's a ton of Loctite on all these. This one's Loctited up too. Yep. Sure enough. Is this one coming or going or what's it doing? I'm gonna need an assist. Another T6. I think there should be one in here. There it is. Wrong hole. There we go. Freedom. Yeah, we good. I am going to, I'm going to leave the T6 on it in case I need it to put it back together. And there we go. Looks pretty good in here. Doesn't look overly lubed or, let's see. Get the Monster Mag. Boy, is that stuck. I mean, if that mag can't pull it, I don't know if it'll come out. Interesting. Yeah, that must be really pressed in there. Well, if it wants to stay that bad, I'm going to leave it. We're kind of dirty here on the bearing. I think it's wet. I think it's lubed. Yeah, I see a little bit of oil there. But, you know, kind of dirty maybe. This all seems really locked in as well. So I don't think I'm going to disturb this side either. I'm just going to wipe it down. I got some oil up here on the backspacer, so I'll pull that. We'll wipe all that down, and then we'll put it back together. I do want to look at, where's this landing? Oh, yeah, it's like right where it locked up. Yeah, I don't have any room to take any tension off of that action, so I'll leave it be. But we can clean this up, clean up this blade. I picked up the knife, basically, you know, as new in a box, never carried. And I'm going to say, looking at the knife, that's a fair representation. This knife hasn't ever been carried or used for sure. It's kind of a collector's piece. It would be an odd, unique piece to go in the pocket, though. I mean, we'll check the pocket clip and see how it would carry. Would definitely be unique, right? I'm pretty sure nobody in your circle is going to pull something like this out of their pocket. And if I remember, I think I swung this in a multiple knife trade purchase deal where I got a couple of these unique artisan cutlery pieces. Had that upside down. All right, let's clean the little parts and we're ready to get it back together. I was going to say this earlier, and I think I got distracted, but I don't know if you've noticed that Timber's Edge Knives has put some of these in. I get asked about these all the time, and so now Timber's Edge Knives has these available in the U.S. So if you pick one up, I mean, I think they're what's that? 3 to 5 days to your door if you purchase one of these at Timber's Edge Knives. Yeah, so there you go. So now I can directly point you to one of those if you're interested, versus going through AliExpress, picking one up in China and waiting for it for 3 to 5 weeks or whatever. The site has them now, so look for them there if you're interested in that driver. I think we're good there. Got lost talking about drivers. And we'll smear a little bit on the path of that detent ball. That's it. I do kind of like the green. All right, now I'm gonna brush these real quick because that's in excess of what I believe needs to be going on these body screws. Little T6s, they're holding the scales. You know, the pivot screws going back and forth and, you know, can loosen the actual pivot screw sometimes. These, once they're in, there's nothing really creating tension on these to torque them out of there. They should be fine. So, especially the amount of Loctite that's on these, kind of unnecessary in my opinion. All right, but even with what I did there, I'm gonna finagle these screws a little bit back and forth. I think I've got I've got round, and then the square one, I believe is gonna be this recessed one for the pocket clip. We'll start there. Yeah, that one ran well. I don't have no issues. I'm not gonna go back and forth with it. These, however, I think I'm going to run them in and out a few times. Just try to clean those threads a little bit because they, man, especially this one. This one was super tough to get out of there. Way more than it needed to be. And just run it in about halfway and then take it back out. Help clean those threads up a little bit. There we go. Got it to tighten. Didn't have to hold down on the other side. Yep, that's what I'm talking about. I believe the other eagle is currently listed on Timber's Edge Knives. And so maybe we'll talk to man over there to, it would be interesting. They could do like a 2-for-1, you know, buy them both and maybe save a little money. I don't know. There's a little bit of wiggle in there. Yep, I feel it right there. Got about a quarter turn out of that. All right. Oh, is that nice now? That's sweet action, man. Let's put some stuff up. Focus in on this piece. I'm going to move that out of our way up there. Yeah. Artisan Cutlery Claw. Titanium S35, blade centered. I was going to say it had a little lock rock on the bottom. A little detent movement here, but not really. I mean, it is super locked in down there. Watch us suck that blade in. I mean, you hear that? So there's not any detent rock in there, but there's just some natural play based on the action, but it's tight. That's not coming out of there, man. That detent ball breaks crisp. Yep. I mean, so crisp, I don't think I can fail it. Let's try. Well, I'm on the lock bar. Let me get off the lock bar. It's got a satisfying little ting when it closes, too. There it goes. Yeah, I mean, I had some tension on the lock bar, but man, it's running smooth now. Let's see if we can hear that ting. Yeah, it didn't really do it there. I mean, A minus. I'm gonna give it a B plus because I do feel it. I do feel like it's got just the slightest bit of movement here. It's definitely locked in, like it snaps out of there. Boom. Yeah, it really bites it down. It's really sucking that blade in on the bottom. But when I'm hitting here, I feel just the tiniest little bit of movement there. There's no chance of it coming open, but I do feel like it's got a little bit of detent lash in there. The lock up here is just solid as a rock. There's no movement. Even when it's not locked, the blade's really solid on the pivot. Not, no side to side, up and down, back and forth. This thing's not moving anywhere. But locked into the bottom detent there in a closed position, when I grab here, I feel like there's the tiniest little bit of movement in that. Does it mean anything? No. Nah, it doesn't mean anything. It's not going to affect the action, the lockup, none of it. But I do feel I feel something there. There's a tiny little bit of movement. So because of that, I'm gonna give it a B plus. Let's talk about ergonomics. I mean, it's comfortable in hand. I'm definitely not so confident, very confident. I mean, we're definitely a confident grip. Locked in, the flipper tab creates a good little finger guard. Reverse, like a Karambit grip. I mean, it's good. It's really solid in hand. What a backwards ripper this thing would be. And then it does have like a pretty good little Pakal grip. So from a Pakal stance to come in and away, whew, nice. Let's check pocket clip. Pocket clip, check. I think it's going to be pretty good. This titanium mill clip feels like it's got some pretty good tension on it. We'll check it in the thick stuff. Yep. And it started to run out of room at the top here. So, I mean, it almost made it all the way in. There's definitely almost an inch sticking out with the knife. Great tension. Standard jean size material. Again, really good tension in the pocket. It's got great grip. My spot in the back pocket for a back pocket carry. I mean, you got the green machine sticking out of your back pocket. It's got good tension. I mean, it's okay. Look at this lanyard hole. So if you're a lanyard person, it's got a pretty nice little lanyard hole off the back here. Um, Safety. Wonder if we can catch this blade anywhere. It's good through the scales. The tip is recessed, so the tip's good. Clip is good, and I can handle this knife any way I want, and I'm not at risk of cutting myself on that blade. Let's, speaking of cutting, that S35, it's really thick blade stock. Let's see how sharp this is. I mean, it's sharp. I think a simple strop on this small strop, I'm just going to strop it like one time. Just to, if there's any burr on it, I'm going to try to get it off. Keep that angle high. I don't want to get up on the flat grind at all. I just want to be on that bevel. So I'm gonna actually do it one more time. Kind of matching that angle. And I can tell that I'm doing that because I can see on this the smooth part where I'm actually hitting that. And all right, let's see if I made any difference with that little bit of strop. I mean, I'm gonna have to drop it some more for sure. Okay, let's do a couple of passes here. Yeah, I can see that I'm shining that up across that whole blade. So I think I'm matching that bevel angle, that that sharpened angle pretty good. Let's see how we did. I mean, it doesn't take much. Sometimes it's just got a little booger on it. I'll take that. Yeah, way better. It needed a little strop work, man. It's easy. All right. Artisan Cutlery Eagle S35VN titanium, green titanium. How much are these? What do these go for? Okay. Artisan Cutlery sells these for $199. I would expect to see this, I would think, on Timber's Edge. This particular piece, I would expect to see it probably around 150-ish. That'd be my guess. Yep, and if you're a hoarder or a collector, there's probably an opportunity to save even a little more, or there's the 10% discount code over there as well, which, 10% would save you 15 bucks, right? On 150, maybe it'd be 160. I don't know what they'll set it at. But anyways, hey, I appreciate y'all watching. Pretty unique. I mean, it's out there. Some of these artisan cutleries can be kind of wild in their design. And I think I've got a couple of more. All right. See y'all.